dominated the world have used money to rule it and have ruled it in their own interest. It looks at a world economic system that has no regard for the poor, that has no regard for the small nations, that has no regard for the poor of the small nations. And the policy is a dignified policy, is not a violent policy, is not a policy of guns. It's a very honorable policy, but it is a very clear policy. It is a policy that calls the poor of the world to stand together, to stand firm together, to struggle together, to struggle for change, to struggle for justice, to struggle through organization, to struggle through will, to struggle through determination, to struggle to build a new kind of world in which your children and mine will walk with more dignity, with better housing, with better opportunity, with better prices, with better response from the world monetary system. That is the world to which I call you. That is the world for which I struggle, and no power will turn me back from that world. And comrades, if you go and walk with me, if you go and step with me, if you go and move with me, we're moving as warriors. We're moving in determination. We're moving to struggle. We're moving to change that world. No power will turn us back.
Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green, dog. Me no chow-chow. No. Ha, 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 ho, ho. Who ya know?
But if change is what we really want to see, ladies and gentlemen, then we must rise up. We must unite. We must advocate. We cannot remain silent. Where are the young men, the young women, the men, the women, the boys, the girls who will put aside political divide and do what is best for Jamaica? Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. Even our pledge, our national pledge, says before God and all mankind, we cannot see a better Jamaica unless we return to the foot of the cross. Jamaica under God must increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity, and play our part.
If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
I said I'm happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to his hand. Yes, mommy, I see you. Yes, the journey is almost over. Shut up. And the battle is nearly won. And I have a feeling. I have a feeling in my heart. The best is yet to come. Sly Goffin over there, so wanna ready for it? Wanna get up now, man. I feel mad in this place. Let's go. I am happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to his. Over there, so I said the journey's almost over. I know the battle is nearly won, and I have a feeling in my heart the best is yet. Come on, sir. I said the best is yet to come. When I walk through heaven's gates, yeah, I said the first time I'll see Jesus, I can hardly wait. And he showed me to a mansion and said, child, this is your home. And I have a feeling in my heart. You know this one? Listen, shut. Tell me.
Oh, you know.
I want to hear the angels singing. I want to be in that number. I want to hear that trumpet song. We have done now. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear archangel. What I want to hear when my name is called. I want to hear. Everybody know I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. Watch out now. I want to see the angel marching. I want to be in that number. I want to hear. I want to hear that trumpet song. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear. God bless her now. I want to hear. When my name is called, I want to hear. Everybody do so. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be. Get something and wave it. Get something and wave it. Get something out. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be happy. Walk out, Christian. I only live my life to please. Send me rocking for the road and the star on my phone. I only live my life to please. Live up my life. Come on, man, we have done, man. Everybody, so. Live up silent night. What a holy night. But your virgin mother and child. Holy, so tender. Talk to me now. But sweetly, God bless you, God bless you. And we tell some people, I know one prayer we pray.
Blood and fire, comrades who are in jungle tonight. On the nose that the word is love. Comrades, I come with a speech, but it's a different speech may I forgive tonight. But before I go into that, we have been saying all night that young people know say time come. And I want to bring up a young man who has looked for himself, him read for himself, him search for himself, and when him done, him realize that the only choice he could choose is the People's National Party. And I want to welcome Comrade Perry.
Hold on. We don't have much time. When I say time, you say come. Time. Senator Murray, somebody asked me, Perry, why aren't you a Labourite? Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho, ho. Who ya know? Underpants, Paolo. We the gal in the
Hold on, cut in, man, hold on.
Me coulda never green.
Hold on, no DJ, man, hold on. I don't have much time. The next Prime Minister, let me shake your hands, so big up yourself, Mark Golding, Jensek, and brother, Dayton Campbell, doctor. Listen, in 1938, the People's National Party was formed out of the vision to help the poor people. It was born out of restlessness of the people seeking for better. And I believe that the People's National Party continues to be the answer for the people. Can I hear an amen? Hold on. In 1995, under the auspices of P.J. Patterson, the most honorable, there was a revitalization and an extension of the new National Youth Service Program, which gave young people the opportunity to earn commandment church. It gave people the opportunity to better themselves. I don't have much time, but hear what? I hear the other people them say, you must choose Jamaica, but you can't choose Jamaica without choosing the people. God bless you.
Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho. Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow.
Move your flag, comrades.
Comrades, I want to let you know that young man is the former guild president at the University of the West Indies. That is the kind of young people that we attract in the People's National Party.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people. This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine
the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country. I have said it before and I will tell you again. Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
Where are the JLP are going with? Perspective family. Pick up yourself. Blood and fire comrades. I and I is asking for a change. We have to mash down Babylon, time come now. Andrew them a wrap up the money like wow. Them turn taxpayers in a big cash cow. The people them work for nothing big fiasco. Time come for people fi start unite. Time come fi protect the human right. Time come JLP no have no plan. The plan is to kill, destroy, steal and rob. The devil is loose, my friend, and he loves the color green. Hey, yeah. Don't be blind, my friend. Open up your eyes and see.
Lightning and thunder for the JLP. Oh. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the housing trust, but people are go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now war fit the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg is hamping. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the housing trust, but people are go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now war fit the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it.
Perspective with Perry Cummings Jr. Big up yourself. The best is yet to come. These are my perspective. Telling you my perspective. These are my perspective to bring change that I feel me objective. Scandal after scandal. Look where Jamaica come to. Them a rob the money and a thief a lot too. Election tactics, what a disgrace. Them cut off ribbon and the place not safe. It's a prime minister, are you me a address? Police a kill off the youth if you check. Talking about the way country are the best. But though this are my perspective, telling you my perspective. These are my perspective to bring change that I feel.
He leadeth me, for by his hands he leadeth me. His faithful follower I will be. For by his hands he leadeth me. He leadeth me. For by his hands he leadeth me. His faithful follower I will be. For by his hand he leadeth me. Blessings. Happy Saturday. And the Sabbath supposed to done by now. But I'm still going to say happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath, happy Saturday to all of my Perspective family. It is the 16th of May 2026 and we are here again to have some discussion, some conversations that we need to have, conversations that we simply cannot afford to avoid. Remember to like the live, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Perspective and I'm your host, Perry Cummings Jr. I think it's very fitting that we take a minute just to give the Lord thanks. We're seeing the last day of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, after all, this life is over, and my lover here is ended, and I climb upon the mountain top so tall, looking over in the city that my Savior, Lord, is preparing. Give me grace that I would make it after all. Oh, I myself, I cannot make it, but I know He's there to help me. If to Him in earnest prayer I keep on calling. Oh, keep on trusting and believing all the words I heard Him whisper. Just a few more days to labor after all. Oh.
After all, this life is over, ladies and gentlemen. After all is said and done, I am asking the Lord to give me the faith, to give me the grace, so that I can make it after all. After all the corruption, after all the injustice, after all the lies, after all that we have experienced in this world, the wars, the rumors of wars, the deception, after all is said and done, ladies and gentlemen, this young man that is before you this evening on the 16th of May 2026 is asking the Lord to give me faith so that I can make it after all. The song says, I know that I can make it. I know that I can stand. No matter what may come my way, my life is in God's hands. If you know you can make it, ladies and gentlemen, type in the chat tonight, I know that I can make it. I know that I can make it. It may not look like, I don't know why I'm starting the program like this. Blessings to Marva, blessings, man. Don't know why I feel like encouraging somebody for 2 minutes. Huh? I don't know what it is that you're going through, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to communicate this simple thought that I know that you can make it. And I believe in you. I just hope that you believe in yourself. I know that I can make it. I know that I can stand. No matter what may come my way. My life is in God's hands. With Jesus I can take it. So it go. With Him I know I can stand. No matter what may come my way. My life is in God's hands. Yes, man. God is in control. And many of you may have had a rough week. Many of you may have had moments where you wondered if the Lord is there with you. Well, I can tell you this. The Lord promised that He will never leave you nor forsake you. So please to have faith in God. And for those who are not yet saved, it would be an indictment upon what I am and what I represent to not tell you if it is even one time that you should make Jesus your choice. Am I speaking here tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Make Jesus your choice. Well, let us get right into it this evening. Let me know where you're viewing from. Let me know where you're viewing from. Please remember to like the live if you're watching and you've not yet subscribed, then you won't be able to participate in the comments. Please to subscribe, please to like, share with a friend. Mountain View, East Portland. Oh, blessings. Kingston 20 is in the house. Somebody said that they're not seeing me. Can you see me? Can you see me? If not, leave and come back. Connecticut, Silo, St. Elizabeth, Brooklyn, Florida, England, Bay Road, Ontario, Canada, Listowel, Ontario, Canada, Wisconsin, Bronx, New York. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. St. Toulouse, Manchester, Delaware, Shanika, blessings. Yvonne, blessings. Carol, Donna Thompson, blessings. Blessings, Carmen, Maypen, Clarendon, New York, St. Anne. Watching from East Portland. Bless up the whole of East Portland. Big up ISAT. Blessings, blessings. Portmore, South Florida. Maypen, Rosemount, St. James. Maxine Cummings, my cousin. Maypen, Hunger in Clarendon. Blessings, 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 blessings. If you're seeing me, let me know if you're somebody said this screen black. The devil is a liar. If you're not seeing me, please to leave the live and come back. It should be better. I believe what I am seeing, you should be seeing, and I'm seeing myself, so you should be seeing me. Curacao, New Jersey, West Rural, St. Andrew, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, Queens, New York, Falmouth. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. I feel good, good, good. I feel real wonderful good, and every time I talk about Jesus and politics, I feel good, good, good. Newark, New Jersey, Cayman Island is here. Listen, there was a big earthquake this morning, a 6.0 on the Richter scale. Is it true, ladies and gentlemen, that Eastern Caribbean is shaken up? Let me know, the people from, my viewers from the Eastern Caribbean, the small islands, are you okay? Because I heard that a massive earthquake rocked the Caribbean. Well, I've been praying that the Lord shake Jamaica, not necessarily to shake the smaller islands, but a shaking nonetheless. Are you okay? That's what I'm asking, genuinely. Antigua and Barbuda, blessings. I heard that a massive earthquake was felt. Cayman Islands, blessings, blessings. Well, Cayman said them all right. Everybody all right. The smaller islands, and all right. Well, yes, man. Let me see if I can get the information. I hear that a big earthquake shake the place, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, man. That's what I heard. All right. So powerful. Let me read from the article here. So powerful 6.0 earthquake rattles the Eastern Caribbean. This is from Bridgetown, Barbados. This is what they're saying. Several islands in the Eastern Caribbean were rocked by a 6.0 magnitude earthquake Saturday morning. The affected countries were the British Virgin Islands, Dominica, Saint Martin, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Montserrat, Puerto Rico, St. Kitts and Nevis, U.S. Virgin Islands, Venezuela, Caribbean, Netherlands, St. Bartholomew, Antigua and Barbuda, and Anguilla. The epicenter was measured about 43.5 miles from the village of Codrington on the island of Barbuda. Wow, about 10:50 a.m. their local time. So that's what I'm seeing here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was predicted that we are expected to feel some strong earthquakes in the Caribbean. I know specifically Jamaica is to brace itself for its own shaking. God bless you for those who are just joining. Remember to like the live. But boy, I wouldn't want an earthquake to shake Jamaica. In all seriousness, because we've not recovered from Hurricane Melissa. I want to start tonight's conversation by reminding us of the uncertainties that is there. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica did not recover from Hurricane Beryl. Clearly we did not. The government, the Andrew Holness administration, refuses to spend the cash donations that we've received from our international communities, many Jamaicans in the diaspora, and even those who are not Jamaicans. Many countries poured out their hearts and souls into the donation drive that the government was promoting. And to our discovery, ladies and gentlemen, the government has intentionally delayed the recovery process of this nation. Process and progress. You know, they love to talk about from progress to prosperity. But this government, ladies and gentlemen, they have intentionally delayed the progress of this country as it relates to bouncing back. That is a tone for tonight, because when you look at it, hurricane season, thank you Jasmine, it begins in 2 weeks. The hurricane season begins in 2 weeks, and with the uncertainties when it comes to our climate, for all we know, we could get up tomorrow and we get some freak storm. Hurricane can start at any time now. And I'm saying this to drive home a point that the government simply does not care. It doesn't matter what the labor rights will say today. It doesn't matter what narrative that they'll try to come with. They simply do not care. Why? Because their government is in power, and that is all that matters. They don't care about results. They don't care about performance. They have placed their party over their country. And labor rights do not love Jamaica, they love the Jamaica Labour Party. They will get up every day on TikTok, on YouTube and other platforms, and they will defend the Green and defend the Andrew Holness administration while they are suffering, while their family members are still without roof, without road, without water. But the script is that the Andrew Holness administration is the best since sliced bread, and we must start our campaign for the 4th term. We will get back to some of those conversations, but there are some other matters that we want to touch. I saw a very interesting thing regarding our Jamaicans trying to make a living overseas, particularly the United States of America, in an illegal way. Let us listen to this bit of news and we'll give some commentaries on this.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Why are Jamaicans choosing to run off? It's a question the Caribbean Immigrant Services wants answered, as despite strong warnings against illegal migration to the United States, many Jamaicans are still opting to take that risk. Ramada Lyons reports.
Police! Jamaicans are no exceptions. Those who are illegal in the United States are on thin ice. President Donald Trump's message on immigration has been clear.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it.
In April 2026, an ICE flight monitor tracked 245 removal flights, a monthly record since independent flight tracking began in 2020. May 13, 2026, the official X account for the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica strongly warned Jamaicans, do not run off. You will be deported from the United States. In March, it advised, do not overstay your visa. But there are Jamaicans who still take those risks knowingly. Erwin Clear, Managing Director of the Caribbean Immigrant Services, has questions.
What is driving that impetus for people wanting to leave, knowing that in the United States the challenges are even greater if you're not entering in a legitimate format?
According to the UNDP 2026 Development and Democracy Report for Latin America and the Caribbean, more than half of Jamaicans plan to migrate within the next 3 years to work or live. Jamaica is second in the region with 54%. Haiti is at number 1 with 74%. Now, this does not factor those who have illegal intentions. Mr. Clear says the conditions on the ground in Jamaica must be part of the conversation about why people feel compelled to consider those options.
Why would you want to leave? It would mean then that, what is it? Are you running from persecution? The economic opportunities there are unstable, which is largely the latter.
There have also been arguments that some applicants spent thousands of dollars pursuing visas and still face high denial rates.
A denial of a visa, there are those who says that it leads to persons trying other methodologies to enter the United States. And what you'll find is that those avenues are closing down, and it's even harder. And yet you still have, I've been told, persons still trying to enter the States. It goes back to what's causing people to leave. And I think that's where the reflection on home becomes a part of the subject. Why are people intent on leaving in those numbers?
But based on reports on the U.S. government's intense clampdown, are people being deterred?
It's fair to say that it has been working because the numbers illustrate such. And as such, you'd have seen more resources now being spent on the whole internal apparatus of their forces, such as ICE, immigration, custom enforcement, doing a lot more work on the ground. We'd have seen the build out of mass incarceration sites to hold them as they go through the process of deportation.
Illegal immigrants in America have been getting financial incentives to leave, and voluntary departure is on the table. Immigration judges issued more than 80,000 voluntary departure orders from January 2025 through to March of this year alone.
A person understanding their immigration challenges decides to leave, and the judge grants such. We've seen now where those numbers have quadrupled. So again, it's a series of targeted practices.
Romarda Lyons, TVJ News.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us simplify the conversation. It needs not to be this difficult. We have to look at different factors as to why people will try to leave Jamaica by any means. Because when you look at the realities that a lot of us will have to face, especially under this administration, do you blame them? I don't support the illegal entry in any country. I'm making that very clear. I don't. However, we must look at the reasons as to why people would risk going into the United States illegally. And as the expert said, it is effective because the numbers are growing. People are getting into the United States illegal, and this has been happening for many years. As a matter of fact, based on what I'm hearing in the grapevine, there is a system overseas to facilitate illegal entry. They get you in, they get you a job, and you work off the books. You earn in cash and cash only, so you cannot be traced. And you pay back the persons who got you these opportunities. That's just one of the ways. And there is a way in which you can pay to get your documents. It's a big business. Big business. But I want to look at the push factors. I saw Shanika using that term, because you do have push and pull factors. Factors pushing you to leave a particular place, and pull factors attracting you or pulling you to a particular location. And I want to focus on the push factors that a lot of our Jamaicans have been experiencing, and that has resulted in many of our citizens leaving Jamaica legally and illegally to get a better life overseas. Let us look at the facts. These are the realities under the Andrew Holness led administration. Don't hate me, labor rights. These are the facts. Huh? When you think about the high cost of living, ladies and gentlemen, basic necessities are extremely expensive. This government has failed to make affordable basic necessities that are very instrumental to our survival here. Basic goods and services, the basic things, the basic needs. That is so expensive. How can you survive in our country? We're having access to clean water in 2026. In 2026, the year 2026, in this day of modern technology, innovation, people are having a problem in 2026 with a country, the land of wood and water. And in 2026, people are still protesting because they don't have access to clean water. When you think about road infrastructure, is a very important commodity. It's an important asset to any nation. When you talk about productivity, the ease of transporting not just people, but goods and services. If you don't have proper roads that can facilitate the transport of goods and services, then how can you desire productivity in a nation? All of these things affect the overall standard of living. I believe it was Isaac the other day when he was on the perspective, told us that, Perry, if you're not making around 600 and odd $1,000 a month, you are far behind. Somebody said that there is, are you hearing me well? Are you hearing me well, ladies and gentlemen? Just let me know if you're hearing and seeing me well. If you're not getting over $600,000 per month, you're in problem. And that's the reality. I want to go on, because when you talk about the low economic growth, I see somebody in the chat talking about salaries. Look at how much money the politicians are getting. You talk about a good salary. What is a good salary in this country? Let us reason tonight. I'm going to take my time tonight. What is a good salary in Jamaica? Take into consideration the bills, you need to buy grocery, if you have children, things of that nature. What is a good salary in Jamaica? What is a good salary? Somebody in the chat say, I don't know how I do it. Listen, it's the grace of the Lord. It's the grace of the Lord. Somebody said the camera is blurry. Well, let me wipe the camera into something here. I'm not sure if that is a little better. Huh? What is a decent salary in this country? Because any amount that you give me, I am telling you that we have politicians and you have on both sides, ladies and gentlemen. The politicians on both sides of the fence, they are getting a good salary per month. But I want to ask you, what is a good salary? I can tell you what is a good salary. A good salary is $28 million per year. That is a good salary, ladies and gentlemen. It is a good salary because that is what the Prime Minister is getting. I don't think the Prime Minister would have taken a bad salary, ladies and gentlemen. That is a good salary. That is what is needed to survive in Jamaica. Again, if that wasn't the needed salary to survive in Jamaica, the Prime Minister wouldn't have taken 28 million per year. Because that is the standard that the Prime Minister has implemented. If listen, if Jamaicans are not getting $28 million per year, you cannot survive in Jamaica land we love. If you are not, listen, hear my reasoning. If the Prime Minister is getting $28 million per year, we must get $28 million per year.
Sakata, we are mash up, you know. Fire under the Holy Ghost. Every crisis, every condition, every operation of hell. Fire, fire, Bishop. I got your back. Fire, fire. Jesus Christ, watch the operation. Watch the operation. Jesus Christ, Eastwood Park Road. Come, come. Come on. Cover your pastor. Cover your pastor. Go in, Bishop. Go in. Go in, Bishop. Take down the Illuminati. Take down the voodoo. Take down the Freemason. Take down the witches. Take down the warlock.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm being very reasonable. Is $28 million per year a good salary, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? I'm asking labor rights this question too. Is $28 million per year a good salary? That is what I'm asking. And if $28 million per year is a good salary, Why is it that so many of our young professionals working hard, the ones who are literally holding up this country? Because you need to tell me what it is that the Prime Minister is doing to get $28 million per year. So many of our Jamaicans working so hard to keep this country above water, ladies and gentlemen. If $28 million per year is a good salary, every hard working Jamaica should get $28 million per year. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for $20. It wasn't 28 million, but I love the $20. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you. Let us all tell Jasmine thanks for the $20. Feel free to support the super chat. Hand to mouth, people have to be living off of Shanika. That's why people have to be running out of this country. We are second in the Caribbean for illegal entry in right behind Haiti. I'm telling you the reasons why Jamaicans have to be running out of this country under this ungodly government. For the past 3 decades, Jamaica's economy has been at an average of less than 1% per year. This sluggish growth, and this is according to the International Trade Administration website, this sluggish growth limits job creation and revenue generation, making it difficult to sufficiently fund public services like healthcare and education. Well, here's the reason why so many of our sectors are failing. The economic growth is so slow. What prosperity do you speak of, Mr. Holness? Wow, thank you for the $50. Stronger Together. Let us say a big thank you to Stronger Together for that $50. Massive donations coming in on the super chat. Thank you so very much, Stronger Together. We appreciate you. Look at the slow economic growth in our nation. And these people want to talk about prosperity. I am telling you the reasons why so many of our Jamaicans have to run off. Energy dependency and high costs. Energy dependency and high costs. Over 90% of Jamaica's energy is generated from imported fossil fuels. This dependence leads to some of the highest electricity rates in the region, which severely hinders the competitiveness of local businesses and drains foreign exchange reserves. Well, here is where a lot of people will say, we're going to find oil. Do you trust this government with our oil reserves? Do you think that you believe that things will change with this administration at the wheel with our oil reserves? With the Petrojam scandal that we so often recite, it is embedded within our minds, you Labourites. We don't trust you with our oil. Just as I want to rub up the money up a Petrojam, we have reasons to believe that is the same way you're going to rub up the money that we make from the oil. I'm not enthused about this administration managing our oil. I'm telling you the reasons why people are leaving this government leadership. They are leaving this country because of this ungodly. This is the word I'm using these days to describe this administration. Only an ungodly and hateful administration could be treating the citizens of this country in this manner. When you talk about the vulnerability to natural disasters and climate change, I'm going to say this: yes, we are in the tropical zone. Yes, we have a tropical climate. Yes, we have a yearly hurricane season and we cannot escape it. But when you have a government that refuses to make us more resilient to the natural disasters that they know we will be exposed to It has to bring you to a place, ladies and gentlemen, where you ask yourself the question, what in God's name is this government thinking? No proper shelters, no proper drainage system. How can we be more resilient? Hurricane season is 2 weeks away. Black River said they're not ready for the hurricane season. Wanna see any work being done on the drainage system in this country? Hurricane season start June 1st. Last year, when the opposition stood in parliament and questioned the government's readiness to face Hurricane Melissa, the Speaker of the House turned off their microphones and ordered them to sit down. My question is this: with the hurricane season 2 weeks away, are we ready for another hurricane season, ladies and gentlemen? That is what I am asking. You slow and fully dunce labor rights. See, don't cuss me, as your Prime Minister say. Don't cuss me.
Fully dunce.
No shelters. No provisions put in place. No nothing. But hurricane season, it's 2 weeks away. I'm just telling you the reasons why people are leaving this country. They want to talk about record unemployment rates. Yeah? Foolishness. Because you can boast about record low unemployment rates, but when you don't address underemployment, 6 are one, half dozen is the other. It is the same. And let us talk about it. Low unemployment rates in recent years. It is true, we've seen a lot of persons getting jobs. But here is my perspective. When you talk about the low paying industries, such as the BPO, which is the business process outsourcing sector, a lot of young people are not being paid enough to survive. So you employ people in low paying industries. How do they survive? Boasting about record unemployment rate. What they are getting cannot suffice. You talk about unemployment, but you don't talk about underemployment. This government has failed to address underemployment in this country. Again, I ask, what is a good salary? Labor rights in the chat, because I know you people are here watching. A lot of you subscribe, and I appreciate your subscriptions. What is a good salary in Jamaica? Labor rights in the chat. Answer me, no man. You know I don't block you people. What is a good salary in Jamaica? This is why a lot of persons, they are running for their lives. They are running because they need to make a way out for their family members, their children, for their mothers. There's no hope in Jamaica under this administration. What is a good salary? I dare a labor right to answer me. What is a good salary? I want them to answer me, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how people are suffering. Huh? The amount of labor rights. I'm waiting, Jasmine, for them to answer. Why they don't answer? What is a good salary in this country? I'm asking a genuine question. This government, ladies and gentlemen, put $1,000 on the minimum wage and they call it prosperity. Oh no, they can't answer me. Huh? Because of the low paying industries and the high underemployment that we are seeing, ladies and gentlemen. You have what is called brain drain. So a lot of persons are running out over to the United States, Canada and the UK. People have to be trying to leave here. We still have high crime rates. This is what they don't want to talk about. The high crime rate in this country. Labor right. Tell me, I'm going to always ask you this question, you know. Uno now answer me. What is a good salary in this country? $1,000 starting July 1st. I've never heard this in my entire life. When you talk about educations and skills mismatch, although school enrollment is high, there is a distinct gap between the educational curriculum and the actual needs of the modern labor market, leaving many graduates underqualified for specialized high-paying roles. The curriculum needs a revolution. No, them can't talk. I'm asking labor rights, what is a good salary in this country? When we come back, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have some more issues to touch. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, while I don't support the illegal entry into any country, I can understand why people, even labor rights, have to be running away from Jamaica. The amount of labor rights, a lot of people who voted for the Jamaica Labour Party, they have run out of Jamaica. They've gone to the United States. Many of those bloggers, they live overseas. They have to run from the Andrew Holness administration. When you look at how Jamaica is suffering, many of them have to run for their lives. Some of those bloggers, the reason why they are still out here is because they cannot do any better. They cannot do any better, so they have to stay out here and talk. A lot of them, it pains them. They have to come out and defend this government in such a deplorable state that they call prosperity. What prosperity? Labor rights. When I come back, I want to see an answer. I am asking a question. Why you can't answer this question? What is a good salary in this country? Let's take a break. We'll soon come back.
You must go to prison, and you must go to prison. Vaz, you must go to prison. Mackenzie, you must go to prison. What a mess, 40 billion in a debt. Andrew, a talk and not certified yet. The green politicians, them afraid of wholeness. Nationwide, them a talk and sweat. Yellow bus scandal, procurement breach. Head a figure roll or them drown in a beach. Don't stop talk, Perry, don't stop preach. And Marie mode nasty, you want some bleach. Lord God, perspective, big up yourself.
And Protherapy, we are here to help you to bring ultimate relaxation to your feet. Our hot stone, Swedish, and deep tissue massage services are here to help you to get rid of tensions, minor swellings, and aches and pain, increase flexibility and circulation. If you are having any heart or circulatory diseases, then this might not be for you. Reach out to us and let's see if you can secure yourself with a foot massage for as low as $4,500. Thank you for choosing Pearl Therapy, the healing hub.
Are you frustrated with your skincare? Are you tired of acne, blemishes, scars, sagging skin, wrinkles, discoloration? Why not enjoy our wide array of products from skin, hair, and personal care? Place your frustration on our shoulders, and we will get you smiling again. The power of our products are in our formulation and ingredients. Listen to our customer testimonial. This is what she has to say.
Oh my gosh, look at my face. I've been using these products for a year, exactly 1 year. If you have not tried them, you need to try them. They really work. Look at my skin.
Visit our website or contact us at 917-557-6204. Make it Tony and Organics and order yours today.
Food is designed to be felt, not just tasted. Soft warmth, gentle richness, a harmony that melts effortlessly on the tongue. At Cummings Exquisite Caterers, every dish is an invitation, guided by passion, finished with elegance. We cater for life's most meaningful moments, elegant weddings, private celebrations, and much more. With a serene repast center just 10 minutes away from two major cemeteries. We are located at 38 Dublin Spanish Town Road. Reach out to us 876-573-9124.
Cummings Exquisite Caterers, where desire meets. Our first social media question tonight comes from Instagram. Shania in Kingston, she says, low voter turnout suppresses the effectiveness of a democratic society. Many Jamaicans refuse to vote because they believe both parties are corrupt. What would you say to the significant population of non-voters? And if elected, how will you hold politicians accountable for offenses against the people instead of protecting them?
So in this instance, the question, you have 90 seconds to answer, and we begin with Dr. Holness.
Corruption is a serious problem in our country, and corruption requires strong leadership. From my position as Prime Minister, I have taken action against any member of my political party that has been involved or accused of anything that suggests corruption. In my own case, I have been investigated for a year with an expert forensic auditor. The findings of that report have suggested no corruption. There have been no charges. Every aspect of my report, every aspect of my personal life and my personal financial details are in the public domain. I am the politician about which Jamaica knows the most. And therefore, I am the politician who can stand with the greatest moral authority to treat with any matter that is considered corrupt, as I have done in the past. And I want to give this assurance to the Jamaican people that you know me, you know about me, you can trust me, and you know that I stand against corruption.
Mr. Golding has the opportunity to respond to that social media question as well.
Andrew, what they know about you is that you have 28 bank accounts, that you received several $1 million in cash deposits from anonymous donors in your bank account, that your companies had transactions of over $400 million, several thousand transactions between them, and that Positive Jamaica Foundation, a non-profit which you are intimately connected with, provided resources which you use for personal investments through your personal company. We have signed the Leadership Code of Conduct developed by Integrity Commission. All of our spokespersons and myself have signed. None of your people have signed it. I am committed to ensuring that all members of the executive, when we form government, will have their Integrity Commission declarations published, not just the leader of the opposition and what should happen, but hasn't happened in your case because you're not certified, the Prime Minister. So the whole question that has been asked is an excellent question. And we really need to step up our vigilance against corrupt behavior, nepotism and cronyism. The volume of scandals under this Jamaica Labour Party government is unprecedented. Over the number of ministers who have had to be removed from frontline duty, many of them parked in the naughty corner in OPM rather than being sacked. It is a disgrace to the country, and your personal situation where you're operating under a deep cloud because your Integrity Commission declarations are not certified also is something which Jamaica cannot go forward with.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Perspective. I'm your host, Perry Cummings Jr. Marshy, what going, man?
Don't want to tell you what is a good salary.
Marshy, I'm asking the labor rights to tell me what is a good salary in this country. None of them not answering me.
Alright, me tell them if they know 1 year. When you have 28 bank account, you get 28 million. You can put $1 million in each bank account. And I don't have to touch it. Because the Prime Minister get house allowance, car allowance, hustling allowance, sleeping allowance, and all of them things that the Prime Minister get. So the salary good for him. And when they tell you about record number of unemployment, because they're fully done. In the days of slavery, we did have 100% employment.
Yes.
But I want to tell them this. No, I'm not here supporting slavery.
No.
But because labor right done, so they can look on things different. So I'm sure them now say slavery was better than the Andrew Wellness government right now. Because in the time of slavery, the backer master find your food, he find your clothes, he find shelter for you, all of them there. All you have to do is go to work. No, you get a minimum wage now. You have children to send to school, you have food to buy, you have light to pay, and all of them things there. And the salary where you get can't do it. So we gone right back into slavery, Mr. Andrew Wellness. So now come to have a record number of unemployment. When you build the housing trust house, them Andrew Wellness, minimum wage cannot pay the mortgage.
Oh my God.
And so when you come and talk about record number of unemployment, when you just talking garbage, when you must talk out on the mountain and stop talk out, I want to sit down for you, brethren. Labor right at time, when you wake up, wake up. Stop on the foolishness. And the country will is turning in and no more puppy show. Then I don't want to turn a puppy show because Andrew Will is turning in a fool in a kind of so they don't know. Because you know, Andrew Will is not know the national debt different from the debt to GDP. Andrew Will is not telling they cut the debt in half. The debt not cut in half. The debt keep growing. And the debt to GDP come down. From when Peter Phillips then did start with and Nigel Clark continued. So the debt to GDP now gone down to much, I think it's 62 something. About.
Yes.
That's where the debt to GDP reach now. So at that game mixed up and they cut the debt in half. The debt is over 3 million and climbing. But you will know that they don't see to tell them anything.
Yes.
So you don't have a finance minister to come out and tell. She well as Mr. You know, NSN she deal with right now. Nah, say no. The people really turn away that Kunomuno. So Andrew, your salary is good because you have 28 bank accounts and you can put $1 million in each. But just before I go, I want you to get a chance to talk to Mark Bolin. Ask him if him statutory filing for this year do yet. And I'll remember them. I will not say Andrew one can't do. Your wife one can't do. Daryl Vaz can't do. Christopher Tufton can't do. And them have to start the like Dalrymple for Philibert where never member says she have a Mercedes Benz. Mercedes Benz. And the finance minister, she know, last thing this man said, she know Miss Finance Minister. You know, so we can't save it $2,000 for buy the Pro box again.
Lord, that gone.
The $1,000 where them put on the minimum wage, it not gone on yet. And when it come in July,
that's what them say, yes.
But guess what? Them take back the whole light because everything gone up now. So it's not an increase we get, you know.
No.
It's an increase. It's an increase. We get a increase. I got you here, son. I got.
All right, Marsh.
Microphone and usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out. Take his microphone. Just a minute. Just a minute. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Usher him out. Usher him out. Usher him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask a question. Is Mr. Vegas alright? I'm asking because normally Vegas would be defending the Jamaica Labour Party. Somebody tell me that Mr. Vegas thought that he would get senator, Is that what somebody tell me, Somebody tell me that Mr. Vegas was expecting to become a senator in government. And that's why he was working overtime to defend the Andrew Holness administration. That's what I heard, ladies and gentlemen.
Something alright. Something alright, yeah.
He was working. That's what I heard. It's not my, the grapevine. The grapevine can reveal some things. So I heard that he was working to become senator, but it just didn't work out in that way, and because he didn't get what he wanted, he has gone back to his dancehall career. Because for a time it seemed as if he was going to leave that craft behind. But it seems as if the Jamaica Labour Party ushered him out.
Fire. And if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it seems as if the news is true. I see a Labour right in the chat say give him a couple more years. A Labour right say give him a couple more years. What is man? Well, let me answer the question for the Labourites. They don't want to answer me. They don't want to answer it. But, according to Work Staff 360, one of the websites that tends to give us data on certain information regarding our productivity in our workforce, they said that a gross monthly income of $200,000 to $400,000 is considered a strong, comfortable wage. I'm questioning that because with the amount of things that we see going up, and with all the high costs of living, I'm questioning that. But that is what they say is a comfortable wage. My question though, ladies and gentlemen, is how many of us as Jamaicans are getting $200,000 to $400,000 per month? The national minimum wage is $17,000 per 40-hour week as of July 1st, 2026. And typical professional roles pay around $2.4 million annually. Typical professional roles pay around $2.4 million annually. That is around $200,000 per month. Now, I want to ask if that is considered a comfortable salary per month. If $2.4 million per year is considered a comfortable, a decent salary, what do you call $28 million per year? Ladies and gentlemen, If 400,000, if 200 to 400,000 per month is considered comfortable for the average Jamaican, if 2.4 million per year supposed to can make you survive, that's what they're saying. You can survive on 2.4 million per year. What do you call $28 million per year? Give you a better comparison. Hurricane Melissa came and destroyed parts of our country. Destroyed parts of our country. It is said on record that Hurricane Melissa is on record the third most powerful system on record. Certainly did a lot of damage in Jamaica. And this administration, ladies and gentlemen, so far has only spent $26 million on the hurricane victims out of the 1.4 billion cash donations. 1.6 million people in this country, approximately 1.6 million Jamaicans, more than half the population of Jamaica, were affected severely by Hurricane Melissa. And the government has spent less than the Prime Minister's annual salary on our victims. Is that a better comparison, ladies and gentlemen? I want the person to understand what I'm saying, because we're going to hear from Senator Morgan, and I want us to listen to what he's saying. Just look at how he's trying to defend and to create narratives. The government has spent less than the Prime Minister's salary per year to serve for 1.6 million people in this country. But one man alone is getting $28 million per year. If that is not wickedness, if that is not evil, if that is not diabolical, I don't know what is. I don't know what is wickedness. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. Let us pick apart what the bulldog of the, and I'm not calling Senator Morgan a dog. He is the bulldog of the JLP. Anytime there are narratives to be created, anytime any damage control is needed, where the political narratives in the political space are concerned, they send out the political bulldog for the JLP. The thing with this bulldog, though, he is all bark and no bite. Let us pick apart what he's saying.
General has found that as of February of this year, only 1.8% of the $1.44 billion in cash donations had been spent. OPM says the reason is that the Ministry of Finance hadn't authorized the expenditure. Who then bears the responsibility for that delay, Senator Morgan?
Well, so the conversation for me is not so much about responsibility for delay, because Jamaica operates a structured, rules-based and law-based financial management ecosystem, Jordan. I'll come to that in a little while, but before doing so, I want to point out to your viewers at the very outset that the conversation we're having this evening could easily have been one about the misuse of funds.
That is not what the host for the interview asked. That is not what she asked. Ladies and gentlemen, Look at how deceitful the senator is. We're not asking about what could have been the case. The lady asked you who bears the responsibility for not spending the cash donations. That is what was asked. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have to pick apart what is happening here.
Senator, the Auditor General has found that as of February of this year, only 1.8% of the $1.44 billion in cash donations had been spent. ADPEM says the reason is that the Ministry of Finance hadn't authorized the expenditure. Who then bears the responsibility for that delay, Senator Morgan?
Well, so the conversation for me is not so much about responsibility for delay, because Jamaica operates a structured, rules-based and law-based financial management ecosystem, Jordan. I'll come to that in a little while, but before doing so, I want to point out to your viewers at the very outset that the conversation we're having this evening could easily have been one about the misuse of funds, loss of funds, misappropriation.
You're right. You're right that the conversation could easily be one about misuse of funds and misappropriation of funds, because we've seen that from your administration. You heard it from the horse's mouth, ladies and gentlemen. He said it. The conversation could easily be one about misappropriation and misuse. Why? Why could it have been about that under this administration, Mr. Morgan? You said it yourself. It could have easily been one about that. Why we should easily have a conversation about misuse and misappropriation of cash donations in any good government. That shouldn't be an easy conversation. You people are quick to say that your administration isn't corrupt. So why is it that the conversation could easily be about misappropriation and misuse of funds? That is what he said. Because you know the type of administration you represent. are going to expose you tonight. Listen to the senator.
The conversation we're having this evening could easily have been one about the misuse of funds, loss of funds, misappropriation.
I'm going to play it again. Senator Morgan from the Jamaica Labour Party led administration said that this conversation could have easily been one about the misuse and misappropriation of the cash donations. And I am asking you, Senator Morgan, why is it that the conversation could have easily been the conversation about that? In other words, Greek Jamaica, Mr. Morgan is saying normally on these matters the money would have been stolen, so we should be happy that on this occasion we can see the money.
Sakata, we are mash up, fire under the Holy Ghost. Every crisis, every condition, every operation of hell, fire, Bishop. I got your back, fire. Jesus Christ, watch the operation. Watch the operation. Jesus Christ, Eastwood Park Road, come on. Cover your pastor. Go in, Bishop, go in, Bishop. Take down the Illuminati. Take down the voodoo. Take down the Freemason. Take down the witches. Take down the warlock. Take down the Wabiaism. Him under the Holy Ghost, left him.
Jamaica operates a structured, rules-based and law-based financial management ecosystem, Jordan. I'll come to that in a little while, but before doing so, I want to point out to your viewers at the very outset that the conversation we're having this evening could easily have been one about the misuse of funds, loss of funds, misappropriation, unaccounted for funds, and so on. But that is not the conversation we're having. We're having a conversation regarding a quantum of funds where only 1.8% had been utilized up to a particular point in February. But just to be clear,
hold on, Senator Morgan, because you said that, and persons listening do need to have that understanding that the Auditor General didn't find any irregularities. She did say some of the documentation hadn't been provided to her, but she isn't arguing that the funds had been misused or misappropriated. However, that for many people is a very bottom of the barrel argument. There is no expectation that they have that these funds would have been misappropriated. So to argue now, almost 7 months after Hurricane Melissa, 4 months after this audit would have been completed, that no funds had been spent and we must be glad the money hadn't been misappropriated, for some seems a very facile argument.
So just
Exactly. The conversation, Mr. Morgan, is not whether or not the money is there. Yes or no. As a matter of fact, you said it yourself. If we heard that the money was unaccounted for, we wouldn't have been surprised. We know the type of corrupt administration that is in government today. That is not the conversation about whether or not the money is there, yes or no. The concerns that we're having is why the money is there and is not being used to help relieve the people who are severely affected by the hurricane that passed last year. So don't come and tell us about the money being there, and we should be happy that the money is being there, and that we could have easily had a conversation about misappropriation and misuse. We know, Mr. Morgan, the type of administration that you represent. You said it yourself. We wouldn't have been surprised if the money was stolen, because we have a lot of thieves in your government like Ruel Reid and others. As the host of the program is saying, the concern that we are having is that the money is there and less than 2% of it has been used. 98% of the money is sitting down in the office of the Prime Minister while people are still living in cars, no roofs, no homes, no nothing. That is what we want you to address.
to be clear, Julian, I said what I proffered just now for context. We know in Jamaica that we have a low trust environment, and indeed we are very mindful of the numerous instances and experiences we have had with the damning Auditor General report. So that is for context why I said what I said.
Why do we have, I'm going to play that back. I think there was a little interference there. Why do we have a low trust environment, Mr. Morgan? Why do we have a low trust environment, Mr. Morgan? Who is responsible for the low trust environment, Senator Morgan? Your administration has been in government for 9-10 years. With the amount of scandals that we've been seeing from your administration, who should we blame for the low trust environment that you speak of? You cannot blame people for being paranoid when it comes to your administration. The amount of scandals under this administration, it is unprecedented. So who do you blame for that? Huh?
A very facile argument.
So just to be clear, Julian, I said what I proffered just now for context. We know in Jamaica that we have a low trust environment, and indeed we are very mindful of the numerous instances and experiences we have had with the damning Auditor General reports. So that is for context why I said what I said earlier. But let me pivot now to the substantive point here. The ODPEM received resources by way of donations into a particular account. for those funds, Jordan, to be onboarded so that the appropriate accounting and stewardship can ensue from a financial management standpoint in the context of government operations, you need to have the regularization of those funds from the Ministry of Finance. In other words, for you to have them passing through the consolidated fund. So they have to be onboarded, and that particular bureaucratic red tape, which I alluded to in my press release.
Foolishness! 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 Do not blame bureaucracy here. Do not blame bureaucracy here. Do not blame any red tapes here. It has been 7. When did you receive the cash donations? You're telling me it has to take 7 months for you to. It didn't take 7 months for Darrell Vaz to run through red tape and get Starlink and Yellow Bus. So what bureaucracy are you talking about? Why all of a sudden the bureaucracy has prevented you people from spending the money? When did you receive the cash donations, Mr. Morgan and company? Did you hear this nonsense? Vaz said he would do it again, which tells me they know how to break through bureaucracy and red tape. So why all of a sudden there's all of these red tapes and obstacles? Why you not couldn't spend the money? Huh?
Would in part have contributed to the very low quantum of the funds that had been expended up to February. But separate and apart from that, it is important for the viewers to know and appreciate, Claudia, that the ODPEN had earmarked a considerable portion of the donor funds received for the purpose of the shelter recovery program in relation to modular housing solutions. In fact, as we speak, a considerable degree of work is going on now with respect to the preparation of the basis on which the modular housing solutions will be erected, because it would be a waste of resources or very imprudent at the very least for us to have used public funds to acquire modular housing solutions and then not provide the supporting and enabling basis on which to erect them.
Senator.
Foolishness. Foolishness. Rubbish. 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 Absolute rubbish. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the poorest excuse that I have ever heard. Alright? Listen this. Listen this, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. I am going to show you why I believe this is just, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this, ladies and gentlemen. Rubbish. 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 And it goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, that, you know, the government is willing to come out and say just anything to try and defend this administration, and that in and of itself, it is just so dangerous. Huh? It is just so dangerous. It is so dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. I want to remind Senator Morgan that the reason or the justifications for moving ODPEM to the office of the Prime Minister was to go through the same red tapes and bureaucracies that you are now claiming to be the reasons for the 98% not being spent. Let me repeat the point again, and I just pull it up here to remind the viewers that from the genesis of it all, the reason why ODPEM was moved to OPM according to the Prime Minister, according to the office of the Prime Minister, was to avoid the same red tapes and bureaucracy that they claim to be the reason as to why they cannot be as productive as how they would want to. That is the reason why ODPEM was moved to OPM in the first place, to bypass all of those bureaucracies that you're making mention of. So if you moved ODPEM to OPM to bypass the red tapes and the bureaucracy, how is it that it is the red tape and the bureaucracy that is being used as your excuse as to why you did not spend 98% of the cash donations? Bull! Bull!
And if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
But you know, I am happy that we have on record. I am happy that we have it on record that Senator Morgan made it clear that the conversation could have easily been about the misuse or misappropriation of the funds because of the reputation that the administration has. He said it himself. He said it could have easily been about that. And I find it concerning that a senator from the Jamaica Labour Party government could come out and say such a thing. It tells you the type of administration that we're working with, straight from the den of the Jamaica Labour Party. The one who should be coming out to fix narratives. I am not Mr. Morgan. You cannot say a lie. Me, I tell Payo. I tell people I don't need to spread lies or do propaganda. I just listen well. Mr. Morgan said that the conversation could have easily been about the misuse. I'm going to keep this video. Listen to what Mr. Morgan said, ladies and gentlemen.
Law-based financial.
That delay, Senator Morgan.
Well, so the conversation for me is not so much about responsibility for delay, because Jamaica operates a structured, rules-based and law-based financial management ecosystem, Jordan. I'll come to that in a little while, but before doing so, I want to point out to your viewers at the very outset that the conversation we're having this evening could easily have been one about the misuse of funds, loss of funds, misappropriation, unaccounted for funds, and so on. But that,
ladies and gentlemen, you hear that? You hear that? Misuse of funds, misappropriation of funds. That is an admission. That is an admission of what the current administration is about. This is an admission of the type of government. The senator came out and said that the conversation could have easily been about misappropriation, misuse. You know the type of government that you are a part of, Senator. You know the type of administration that you represent. That is what the man say. I'm going to keep this clip and I'm going to make a video about it.
But before doing so, I want to point out to your viewers at the very outset that the conversation we're having this evening could easily have been one about the misuse of funds, loss of funds, misappropriation, unaccounted for funds, and so on. But that is
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep this clip for a very long time. I'm going to keep this clip for a very long time. I'm going to keep this clip for a very, very long time. Mr. Morgan cannot say that anything was altered. Nobody did anything to the video. I played the entire video. The man said that today the conversation could have easily been about the misuse, misappropriation, and that is what he said. And my question is, why is it that the conversation could have easily been about that? In no good government, a government that has no corruption, how is it that the conversation could have easily, you hear what the man say? The conversation could have easily been about that. Why so easy, Mr. Morgan? Why is it that we could have easily had a conversation about the misuse and misappropriation of the cash donations? Am I to believe that that is the way this administration operates? If fish, let's Greek Jamaica, quote the proverb, no man. Quote the proverb, no man. Quote the proverb, no man. If fish come from river bottom and say shark down there, you better believe him, ladies and gentlemen. It's not me say so. Amal and Morgan says so, ladies and gentlemen.
Cause one by one who no go into jail, one by who no go into, one by.
Yeah, I am going to make a video about this. I am going to ruffle some feathers again. Mr. Morgan is what you know about your government, so. The man said they could have easily had a conversation. My God. Yeah? Oh my. But I give you one better. I'll give you one better. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you one better, man. Remember to like up the live, ladies and gentlemen. Like up the live. Like up the live. JLP workers. I want them to tell me that a PNP people are protest. JLP workers in South St. Catherine want to get rid of Delroy Dobney as caretaker. And this news is from Nationwide. JLP workers hey, I want to have a conversation with the JLP workers, you know.
So them on fire. And if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
likes in the chat still with me? This is the perspective. Please to like and share, ladies and gentlemen. I don't need to tell any lies. I tell people all the time. We are not a propaganda machine over here. We just communicate the truth. Workers of the Jamaica Labour Party, I'm reading from Nationwide News Source. I'm reading from Revo Media. Nobody can say a gleaner. Nobody can wala Mashiach. What? Wala de. Mashi.
Toy.
What?
The African back. Because you want, I think a Cheyenne acting in the chat. Always take me on.
Oh.
So I want that Cheyenne acting to be known, so me criticize people. And me can take criticism too.
Yes.
I always tell me something to go to my bed. If you go to my bed because my bed can't come to me.
Yes.
So me have to go to my bed. No acting too. Hey, I want when you play Marlon again, you know.
Yes.
Put up where the Prime Minister said, fully done. Fully done. Because listen when Marlon said the conversation could be easily misappropriation and misuse.
Yes.
No. The money was given to us or to the government to give to the poor people, to help out the poor people, right?
Yes.
And you take the money, lock it up a Prime Minister office. That is a misuse of the money.
That's true. It's true.
The money was not given to lock up a Prime Minister office.
That's true. That reason is a solid reason.
Misuse of the fund.
Yes.
So the conversation can be misuse of the fund because it never did have to lock up a Prime Minister office.
Exactly.
Then they'll not take it to run the next election. Right? So it's a misuse of fund. So already it's a misuse. And you know, Marlon Morgan is a disgrace to Kingston College. I'm telling the truth. He's a disgrace to Kingston College. Because you chat foolishness. Don't even realize where you say, because you are tell we plain said the money could have, in my word, I could have thief the money thief. Now the intended planning to put it that when people forget about it, you use it. That's why we are planning to thief the money, Marlon.
Yes.
Marlon, your party thief, theft, stole, fraud, and better white collar, kleptocracy, kleptomaniac, and some people, some other place to tell you what kind of thief your party is. Marlon, the fund is misappropriated now. It is misuse. It was not given to lock up in the office of the Prime Minister. Because of that thing there. That's right, go. So a Prime Minister office, the money lock up. Why have you lock up the fund? Indeed, have control of charity money already and you use the charity money for your own business. That is its plan for this. We cannot trust you. So low trust. And another low trust is no trust. I gone, Perry, I gone.
Hey! There's a man. Oh my God. Let me take a quick break. I'm going to go to the break. I take a little final break. Ladies and gentlemen. When I come back, I'll finish up. Hold on, ladies and
Lightning and thunder for the JLP. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the housing trust, but people are go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and the money. Now war fit the use, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg is hamping.
And Protherapy, we are here to help you to to bring ultimate relaxation to your feet. Our hot stone, Swedish, and deep tissue massage services are here to help you to get rid of tensions, minor swellings, and aches and pain, increase flexibility and circulation. If you are having any heart or circulatory diseases, then this might not be for you. Reach out to us and let's see if you can secure yourself with a foot massage for as low as $4,500. Thank you for choosing Pearl Therapy, the healing hub.
Are you frustrated with your skincare? Are you tired of acne, blemishes, scars, sagging skin, wrinkles, discoloration? Why not enjoy our wide array of products, from skin, hair, and personal care? Place your frustration on our shoulders, and we will get you smiling again. The power of our products are in our formulation and ingredients. Listen to our customer testimonial. This is what she has to say.
Oh my gosh, look at my face. I've been using these products for a year, exactly 1 year. If you have not tried them, you need to try them. They really work. Look at my skin.
Visit our website or contact us at 917-557-6204. Make it Tony and Organics and order yours today.
Food is designed to be felt, not just tasted. Soft warmth, gentle richness, a harmony that melts effortlessly on the tongue. At Cummings Exquisite Caterers, every dish is an invitation, guided by passion, finished with elegance. We cater for life's most meaningful moments, elegant weddings, private celebrations, and much more. With a serene repast center just 10 minutes away from 2 major cemeteries. We are located at 38 Joe Blaine Spanish Town Road. Reach out to us, 876-573-9124. Cummings Exquisite Caterers, where design
and Eternal Father, I come acknowledging that we have sinned against the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against our fellow man. We have sinned against our family members and relatives. We have sinned against our neighbors, strangers and visitors. We have sinned against the children, the youth and the unborn. We have sinned against the poor and the weak and the elderly and the sick. We have sinned against the free and the imprisoned. We have sinned against those in the care of the state, including the children, the mentally ill, the elderly, the prisoners, and others. We repent, O God, of all our sins committed against these and all persons, local and international, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I come.
Marie is on the line with us, ladies and gentlemen. Marie.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, Brother P. You see Marlon now? Marlon is a grandiloquist. All him do, you see, Brother P, is when him could have used one $5 word, him go and search for the $10 one day. And then come and make a bug and nice, a jump and a nice with these big words, as if make it seems as if he is super intelligent. You understand me? And him to party underneath the bus. I wonder if you're gonna have a job Monday morning. What? Because like Mars say, you basically are saying you're party thief. Because you are saying that the conversation could easily have been that the money can't find the money in a day, what the money day. So you are saying a thief. Yes. You understand? Yeah, so you just dash your party underneath the bus. And if me was Andrew, we don't know, you'd probably forget a little emotion for that because of what you come from national, internet, worldwide web come say the conversation. After and then you come say low trust deficit. So you tick all columns where say thief. Don't it, brother? Yes. You tick all the columns where say thief, thing. So there's nothing you can say, squealer, there's nothing you can say. We can redeem what you just do. And because you just you just say on a thief because you know I don't know if the money I led to Brother P. I don't know if because him say remember him say low trust deficit. Low, which we all know. All tough than him say it too.
Yes.
I'm talking about you know say Andrew Ghana foreign, Andrew Ghana liquor foreign. You got Cayman and then him up over Ghana, Turks and Caicos. I say when him leave as deputy prime minister, him not leave tough than you know.
No.
Because they said low trust deficit. So too. Yes, low trust deficit there so with the leadership. Him not leave Tufton in charge. And Tufton is a visible minister. Senior minister. And him not leave Tufton. Chang is senior too. But I mean, Chang is like, you know, an older minister. So they say they want to leave a young, vibrant one, if anything. Him not leave Tufton. Because low trust deficit, him don't trust Tufton. And then again, the minister is always like you know say the second in command because I'm going to take the liberty of saying if Mark had been the prime minister or Mark had to make a trip abroad, but thinking when I want to leave Julian or you know maybe in charge of the government while he's away.
Yes.
You know see Andrew can't even leave Favour in charge when him gone.
No sir.
Because in fact he is the facto finance minister anyway. So we're not gonna leave where Favour go. We're not gonna leave Probank.
My God.
We're not gonna leave you know see. Him leave Chang. Now leave Tufton. And him not leave Tufton. And if without him could have leave Favour. Because Favour, you know, she Favour. She and things. She on high hopes. You know, and stuff. The finance minister. But Tufton have grandiose ideas. So him not going to leave Tufton in charge. And instead of Tufton, him put the I try to fix up the health system, him out there, the Vox Pop, you know, first they start with paternity fraud, then go with you go with oral sex, you know, people bedroom, then no, you skip over to rum and boom. You know, I wonder if we never like that because the main ingredient in rum and boom is white rum.
Yes.
So you touch real never can't write the so when they talk about rum and boom.
Yes.
You understand me? You know, so I don't know. But back to the substantive point, you know, with this relief money, it don't look good and it don't smell good, and it says a lot about this government that they are uncaring. Because how could you have people sleeping out in the West? You know, people are asleep on the tarpaulin. People have couple stick catch up with all the zinc, maybe with them salvage from the hurricane, and it not tug your heart. You know what? Hey, Brother P, the stuff that could have been done within this last 7 months, how much house and something could have made, and then you know the multiplier effect would have been so much because a lot of people would have gotten jobs and the economy would have gotten a jump start, a kick start, you know, and stuff. But Angela said that, you know, whatever he's doing, you know, let Rafatana say, can't not spoil the dance. But we see where this money, because Nara's Marseille, Nara never stopped $1.4 billion for buy the whole yellow bus them. Nara never stopped for get Starlink. Nara never stopped for JPS get money, and JPS did not want any money. JPS just wanted a guaranteed contract.
Yes.
Because JPS already did done source them money. But I guess it's like you have to look at loan, you know, Brother P. What the loan giver gonna say, I have to have certain guarantees. You understand
Yes,
me?
yes.
Before I will give you my money. JPS never want no money. But Daryl know why him go in and take this how much money and give to JPS, and then when Daryl get caught, instead of being penitent, will I do it again? That's his response to taxpayers' money. You understand me? So I don't know, you know, with this money thing, let's see where it's going, because now that they have gotten the green light for Nara, and Nara don't have any checks and balances, Nara don't have any oversight, you know, so them can wallow and double, you know, and squabble and do in these monies, and it's only later on we might hear say this did gone and that did gone. Kids down in the West, not even school, you know, the chef. Hey, Brother P, we're on the verge of another hurricane season, you know.
Yes.
You know more shelter. A shelter could with a breed of money there, you know. A shelter could have built in every parish, you know.
Of course.
A shelter could have been built in every parish, and say we're gonna furnish the shelter them because we know that we in a this hurricane disaster zone, so them could have been a shelter in every parish. Name it after who them want, name it after Siaga, name one after Anjo, name one after Fayeval. 14 parish, right? And them have more than 14 MP. Them could have named a shelter after every one of them. It no matter, as long as you are doing preparation for the people, just in case there is any other disaster. That could have happened. You have to shelter them, furnish out, and so that's just in case. Instead of now, we on the verge of another hurricane season, and the poor people them down the west after wonder when clouds set up, I wonder what got up to them. So Marlon, if me was Andrew, you wouldn't have the job Monday morning because you throw away underneath the bus. All right,
blessings. Blessings.
All right. Yeah.
You know, it is so interesting. It is so very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, what we are discovering here. And I just want to reiterate that in Jamaica, labor rights will quickly, well, the JLP bloggers oftentimes make it seem as if every protest, as a matter of fact, I have heard JLP bloggers, because I tell you from last night, I am the type of comrade to take them on. And I listen to what they have to say and I debunk the myths. And I heard one JLP blogger saying that all the protests in Jamaica, a PNP organized them. They're politically motivated by the People's National Party. I know I want to ask them this now. No, I want you to explain this to me. Because workers of the Jamaica Labour Party in South St. Catherine staged a peaceful protest on Friday over what they say is poor organization and representation in the constituency. These are labor rights protesting about the poor organization and representation in the constituency. The protest occurred sometime after 9 a.m. at the constituency office at Nagohead in St. Catherine, right at the doorstep of the constituency office. Workers say they are not satisfied with the representation being given by caretaker Delroy Dobney. Labor rights? Can you explain this? Well, for the labor rights who claim that all the protests are PNP do them. Are PNP do them. And this is the reason why I've been saying, let us put aside the partisan conversations and think about your country. People are not satisfied with the Jamaica Labour Party leadership. People are not satisfied with the Andrew Holness administration. People are not satisfied, and when people talk up, you think that people are just talking because we represent PNP. People are out here not satisfied with this third term. Senator Morgan said that the conversation could have easily been about the misuse, theft, misappropriation of the cash donations. It could have easily been that. Why? Because of the reputation that we know the JLP administration has. Because of the type of administration that the Andrew Holness administration is. They know the type of corruption that is within the JLP. Should I go on? This is what the JLP supporters are saying. Huh? Even over nationwide said something the other day. Listen, I'm just communicating what the labor rights are saying.
You know, only politicians think they are squeaky clean and above reproach. You know, the people don't think that. You know, and there are a plethora of examples all over this country's history of politicians running afoul of the rules. The ethics committee that she says is there to deal with certain things usually meets in private. The public not necessarily being able to view the deliberations there. That can't be accepted. I don't think that's acceptable. politicians railing against an additional layer of protection for the public should concern every right-thinking Jamaican. I am not sure that we need this when it's an additional layer of protection for the public. Must concern all of us. The government members can't continue to dither on this. Just sign the political code of conduct. It's an additional layer of protection for the people that you claim to serve.
What does say Mr. Tyrone Reid? What did Mr. Tyrone Reid just say over nationwide, ladies and gentlemen? Tyrone Reid is asking the government members to sign the leadership code of conduct. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it again, ladies and gentlemen. Listen.
Only politicians think they are squeaky clean and above reproach. The people don't think that, And there are a plethora of examples all over this country's history of politicians running afoul of the rules. The ethics committee that she says is there to deal with certain things usually meets in private. The public not necessarily being able to view the deliberations there. That can't be accepted. I don't think that's acceptable. Politicians railing against an additional layer of protection for the public should concern every right-thinking Jamaican. I am not sure that we need this when it's an additional layer of protection for the public. Must concern all of us. The government members can't continue to dither on this. Just sign the political code of conduct. It's an additional layer of protection for the people that you claim to serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not here to spread propaganda. I don't need to lie. It's not within my nature to do so. But the JLP workers, they are protesting against their caretaker, not satisfied with the representation there. Senator Morgan himself told the entire world, and if the entire world not here, I will ensure that the entire world hears what Senator Morgan said on CVM TV. Senator Morgan said that the conversation could have easily been about the misuse and misappropriation of the cash donations given to this government. And Marshim made a brilliant contribution to the discourse. What is considered as misuse? Because I'm pretty sure the donors donated with the intentions of the donations being used in a particular time frame, given the disastrous effects that Hurricane Melissa came with. I am pretty sure if I asked any of the donors 7 months with only 2%, not even 2%, see me all make mistake there, not even 2% of the cash donations have been used. Ladies and gentlemen, that is grossly unacceptable. And that is misuse of the donations. Because a misuse can be considered not being used at all. Misuse in this context can be interpreted as the money not being used any at all. The Labourites cannot argue that using 1.8% of the donations is proper use of the donations, given the context from where we're reasoning. That means then the government can use the 98% 5 years down the line, and we can call it proper use? No. You cannot use the cash donations that were given to be immediately utilized after the hurricane has passed. The expectation is not for you to sit down on the money 6-7 months, a year, almost a year after the passage of the hurricane. That is misuse. I believe Julian Robinson, Mr. Julian Robinson, did a good job in putting in perspective as well the whole matter of the less than 2% being used. Let us play a short video from Mr. Julian Robinson.
I want to step back for a moment and give you the full picture of what the Auditor General found. Because when you see the complete story, it is even more troubling than each individual finding on its own. After Hurricane Melissa struck Jamaica, donations poured in from Jamaicans at home and abroad, from people across the world wanting to help. By the figures in this report, the ODPM received $1.4 billion in cash. $1,440 million. That's not a chicken feed. That's not a little bit of money. As of February 2026, do you know how much of that was spent? 26 million. That is 1.8%, less than 2% of the money spent. So 7 months after the hurricane, over 98% of the monies donated were sitting unspent. Now, think about that. People gave money, businesses donated, the diaspora wired funds, and all of it is sitting there unused while hurricane-affected families are waiting. They're sleeping in cars, they're sleeping under tarpaulin, them not have no roof, them not have no home. Many of them, their businesses have been destroyed, and 98% of the money remains unused. On top of that, a financial services institution was holding 30% of the net donations to cover potential chargebacks. But 4 months after the hurricane, there was still no formal written agreement governing that arrangement. And bank statements confirming those funds were returned to the ODPM were never provided to the auditors. And then there's the National Disaster Fund under the Disaster Risk Management Act. The fund must be audited annually on a standalone basis. It must have its own bank account, and it must have proper annual reports. For 5 consecutive years, none of that happened. The fund has been quietly folded into ODPM general accounts and presented as a liability. What is going on? The Auditor General has laid this out plainly, and the government must now answer. Not with press releases, not with spin, not with promises, but with action, with proper documentation and real accountability to the Jamaican people who gave generously and deserve to know that their generosity has been honored. Jamaicans and donors deserve answers. It is simply scandalous that 7 months after a hurricane, 98% of monies donated have not been used when there is so much suffering in the country.
I agree with Mr. Julian Robinson. We're not going to pretty this thing up. It is a scandal. It is a scandal. We have to call it for what it is. But again, scandals aren't new to the JLP. I think they thrive on scandals. We're almost out of time. I had a few things to touch. Quickly, let me just touch this here. St. James councillors clash as PMs meet a judge or make a comment blamed for police killings. I thought this was very interesting. Could we just read the article quickly here? It is so interesting. Michael Troop, the leader of the People's National Party, minority in the St. James Municipal Corporation, on Thursday angered his colleagues on the opposite side when he blamed recent police killings in his Granville division on Prime Minister Dr. Holness's Meet Your Judge or Meet Your Maker utterance in 2025. Speaking during the monthly meeting at the St. James Municipal Corporation, Mr. Troop referenced the January 1 deaths of 4-year-old Romain Bowman and the May 10 killing of a 17-year-old boy, questioning their justification while calling for Holness to retract his comment from a year ago. I too am asking for the retraction of that statement, ladies and gentlemen. That is a reasonable ask. It's disgraceful. This is what Mr. Troop said. I am here mourning for the Granville Division because in January 3 persons died by the hands of the police, and on Mother's Day a 17-year-old was shot by the police, said Troop. I am saying that unless the Prime Minister goes back and retracts the statement of meeting your maker or meeting the judge, we are not going to stop killings in Jamaica because the young men are not allowed to go and meet the judge. My God. Troop's statement drew an immediate response from the Montego Bay Mayor Richard Vernon, who suggested that the former explained how he wanted men with illegal guns to be treated. Wow. So you are saying that young men with illegal firearms should be given a chance? What is Vernon asking? Mr. Troop replied by saying, I am saying that if they attack the police, then the police have to protect themselves. Exactly. But if the person is caught, a 17-year-old boy can go to prison and come back at age 22. Mr. Troop replied. Isn't that reasonable, ladies and gentlemen? Sometimes I wonder how some of these people become mayors and politicians. Nobody's saying that if the police is shot at, they should not defend themselves. Nobody's saying that if criminals wage war against the police officers, they should not defend themselves. But you must protect yourself at all times, police officers. But when you catch somebody, and remember the protest that happened, you know, they said that the 17-year-old had his hands in the air. He surrendered. He surrendered. Why still go on to murder when you could have arrested him? Let him meet the judge. Make him serve the time. The meet your judge thing now work out under this administration. I be just murder that is just murder we see. But from the moment the Prime Minister made the statement, myself and others had a problem with it. You cannot, as Prime Minister of this country, with the context of Jamaica already having that low trust environment that you contribute to, we already cannot trust police officers because this government has rejected the use of body-worn cameras. We've heard it from the Minister of National Security. You cannot, in this environment, after we have such a high percentage of judicial killings, you cannot come out and say meet a judge and meet a maker. That is basically giving the green light to police officers to shoot and kill people. And the country wasn't as outraged against the statement. When we talk, because you're PNP, or because of this and because of that, now we are seeing the effects of such reckless statements. The Prime Minister must understand that to whom much is given, or to whom much is taken for themselves. Because I'm hearing in the grapevine that the case between Mr. Holness and Mr. Buchanan is alive and well. Is it true, ladies and gentlemen? I've been hearing some things, you know. Is it true that the case between Mr. Holness and Mr. Paul Buchanan is alive and well? A conversation for another time. The Prime Minister should have never made such an utterance. Should have never said something like this. should have never come out and say something like this. We're out of time. I have church tomorrow. But let me touch on something that I believe is very important. And I think it has a lot to do with Nara, if we're not careful. Listen to Mr. Ian Hales as the sugar farmers are now weighing future options.
And we apologize for that technical glitch in that story. To other news now, there are fresh calls for a radical shift in how land is used, especially in Westmoreland, where sugarcane farmers are now contemplating the next step after the abrupt end to the crop season. We have the details in this report.
For generations, sugar was king in Jamaica, fueling livelihoods, shaping communities, and driving the rural economy. But today, that dominance has faded. Production has steadily declined over the past 2 decades, and the recent closure of Pan-Caribbean Sugar Company in Westmoreland has deepened concerns about the future of the industry. Against that backdrop, a Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Western, Ian Hales, is raising alarm about what comes next. Mr. Hales points to what he describes as a missed opportunity. More than 24,000 acres of government-owned land under SCJ Holdings in Westmoreland, much of it lying idle while small farmers struggle to access farmland.
Why can't we give it to the citizens of Westmoreland, the small farmers who wants to do cash crop? Why can't we look at other industries in terms of ensuring that we can put the arable lands into production? Why can't we look at avocado? Why we can't look at other crops in Westmoreland where the cane lands can be used for?
He's proposing a new model, breaking up large tracts into smaller, workable plots, allowing farmers to cultivate crops, build homes, and sustain livelihoods.
I think it's full time now government take a new approach and look at the land and start creating homestead. We have small farmers, we can't give them a little piece to live on while they farm 5-acre plots. We can do that.
Agricultural voices on the ground echo the concern, pointing to years of challenges in the sugar sector, from unpredictable rainfall to factory inefficiencies and declining global prices.
Sugar, as we have seen for the past 20 years at least, it has been on the decline. And every year the production continues to go down. It's now a small fraction of what it used to be. And what we have been experiencing is acreage upon acreage of land just sitting there, not being utilized at all.
He says even farmers who remain in the industry are struggling to stay afloat.
When you look at the world market and where the price of sugar is now compared to what we produce for, I would not be surprised if many of the farmers are operating at a loss, even when they have a good harvest.
The numbers tell a sobering story. What was once a cornerstone of Jamaica's agricultural output is now a fraction of its former self, and in places like Savannah Lamar, the shift is already visible.
I don't know if you go to Savannah Lamar market on the weekdays and on the weekends. Almost all of the farmers there in the market is from St. Elizabeth. If we have arable lands in Westmoreland, let us give it to the farmers.
The call now is for urgent policy change, including diversification, land reform, and investment in alternative crops that can thrive in Jamaica's climate and global markets.
There is room in the marketplace now for us to look into different types of agricultural activities. We have many acreage out there, hectares of lands, and there are many other products that we could produce that could perhaps make a major difference to the farming community.
Sandy Williams.
And it's a time for another break now, but we'll have more local stories when we come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that this government will ever be willing to provide any land for anybody like that. With this NARA bill, the agrarian society that we once had, it will become nothing under this administration. No matter how you hear Mr. Floyd Green talking, Mr. Holness intentions for the lands in this country is to allow these lands to be up for grabs for the international investors, rich and powerful friends of the elite society. They will continue to flood our markets with imported food while our farmers struggle. The sugar industry has become nothing. And there doesn't seem to be any intention to keep farming alive in this country. They want us to live on imported food because it benefits somebody who is rich and powerful. Nara is setting up itself to claim all of these lands, to do what they want to do with it. Let us be vigilant. Let us be vigilant. Ladies and gentlemen, let us pray. Tomorrow I'll see you all at 6 p.m. Clarion Call on Monday at 3 p.m. Let us pray. Father, we give you thanks for your mercies and your grace, for all that was discussed. We give you thanks that you're still here with us. You've brought us to the end of another week, and we're asking for you to be our guide into the next. Truly, there's a lot to be concerned about in this nation. The proof is there. We don't have to lie. We don't have to twist anything. It is there, coming from the horse's mouth on many occasions. And Lord, we're asking for you to continue to expose the truth to the people of this country and to the international community as well. And that persons will be held accountable once and for all for their delinquency in ensuring that good governance is the order of the day. We are looking to you, knowing that you are still in control. How long shall the heathen reign? So many people are suffering, the children, the mothers. People are still in cars, no roofs, and persons are suffering ever since that terrible hurricane. Not only that, but in the next 2 weeks or so, we are to experience the beginning of a next hurricane season. Everything is so unsure now with the climate change that we are experiencing now, and that we know is a reality. Unpredictable weather is quite possible. Lord, help us. We pray for the small islands in the Eastern Caribbean, those who are affected by the 6.0 magnitude earthquake. Pray, Lord, that you will help people to survive and to pick up the pieces. I'm not sure what the damage was specifically, but it must not have been easy. Touch the viewers. Bless the hands who gave tonight, the hands who supported the super chat, those who support the Western Union, those who support behind the scenes. Let your name be glorified as we continue to keep the hope alive, because we believe that the best is yet to come. These and other mercies we ask of you in Jesus' name. Let the people say amen and amen. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep safe. Keep safe. Bye-bye.
Perspective family. Big up yourself every time Perry the General. Go and do it, comrade. The word is love. Where we are go do? Police them a kill off, use the tree on the roads. Where we are go do? The price gone up on the JLP let loose. Where we are go do? Times hard and politicians don't have a clue. Where we are go do? Where we are go do? Aye, time for trust and keep the faith to help us win this race. Poor people now no food, all them see a empty plate. And the rich them getting richer, them fi burn up in the lake. Promises they make, but enough of them are fake. But black love divide, put politics aside. A time for we unite, a time for do the right. We have to start by speaking truth and not the lie. Perry set the trend, we have to unite. Pressure it a boil, farmers them a toil, and all our work them no see nothing at all. We can't segregate, we can't separate. Put aside the war, time fill up not it. Pressure it a boil, farmers them a toil, and all our work them no see nothing at all. We can't segregate, we can't separate. Put aside the war, time fill up not it. Hey. Wait, wait.
Lightning and thunder for the JLP. Corruption in the nation, what a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the housing trust, but people are go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now walk with the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg is hamping. Corruption in the nation, what a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the housing trust, but people are go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now war fit the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it. Corruption in the nation, what a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the housing trust, but people are go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now war fit the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it.
Well,